So I got something super cool for you today. It's something that's been on my mind a lot, like for the past few weeks, really. And I just had to talk about it with someone. And you're here, so perfect. It's about like getting unstuck. You know that feeling when you're just spinning your wheels? Yeah, that. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Kafka, and welcome back to 60 Second Scholar. I know. The name implies we're in and out like super fast. And usually we are. But today we're going to take a little more time. Let's just, pull over to the side of the road for a minute. We're calling this episode 10 Minutes to Rethink Your Life Direction. And yeah, it sounds pretty big, I guess. Intimidating even. But I promise, it's not as scary as it sounds. It's more of a gentle check-in. The thing is, and I see this everywhere, a lot of us, myself included, totally included, we end up on this sort of autopilot mode. Like you finish school, you get a job, you maybe move to a new city, and you follow this path that was kind of laid out for you. Or maybe not laid out, but it was the path of least resistance, right? The one that made sense to everyone else, so you just kind of went with it. And it's not bad. That's the tricky part. The job is fine, the city is fine, everything is fine. But you wake up one day, maybe it's on a Tuesday morning for no reason, and you're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? It's a really strange feeling. It's not that you're unhappy, not exactly. It's just, it doesn't feel like yours. It doesn't feel like a choice you actively, consciously made. It just sort of happened to you. And that feeling, that little nagging voice in the back of your head that whispers, is this it? That's actually a really powerful signal. It's so easy to ignore it, to just like turn up the music and keep driving. But it's not something to ignore. It's your brain, your gut, whatever you want to call it, basically tapping you on the shoulder and being like, hey, psst, you there. Let's check the map. I think we might have taken a wrong turn somewhere. So I was feeling a bit of that myself, and I started digging around, and I came across this idea. Well, it's an old Japanese concept actually, but people have simplified it in a really useful way. It's basically 4 questions, just 4, and they're meant to help you find your direction. Not like a final locked-in destination, but just the next right step. A compass, not a map. Do you know what I mean? It's about pointing you in the right general direction.
Okay, so the first one, it's the fun one. What do you love? And I mean like really love. Not what you tell people you love at parties to sound interesting. The stuff that makes you lose track of time. When you look up and, oh wow, 3 hours have passed. For me, it's getting lost in a topic for this podcast. But it's also like tinkering with old electronics. It makes no sense, but I love it. For you, it could be video games, or hiking, or organizing your closet into a rainbow. Seriously, no judgment. Just what do you genuinely love?
The second question is, what are you good at? And again, this is a no flex zone. Be totally honest. This isn't your resume. Maybe you're not a world-class painter, but you're really good at making people feel comfortable and heard. That is a huge skill. Or you're amazing at untangling complex problems. Or, just untangling a massive knot of old Christmas lights. That's a real tangible skill. Think about what your friends come to you for help with. That's usually a pretty good clue right there. And here's where it gets cool. You start to look at where those first 2 circles overlap. The stuff you love and the stuff you're good at. That intersection, that's where your passion lives, right? Obvious. But here's the thing, and I've learned this the hard way. Passion alone. Passion alone doesn't always pay the bills, and it doesn't always mean you're helping anyone, which, brings us to the next really important piece of the puzzle. The third question is, and this one's a bit bigger, so take a breath. What does the world need? And the world can feel so huge, so abstract. So let's shrink it. What does your little corner of the world need? Your community, your family. What problem do you see around you that it just gets under your skin? It could be anything from like a lack of green spaces in your neighborhood to seeing how lonely some of the elderly people on your street are. Something that makes you go, man, someone should really do something about that. Maybe that someone is you. And finally, the fourth one, the reality check. What can you be paid for? Because we live in the real world and rent is due and you have to eat. This isn't about selling out, it's about being sustainable. You can't help anyone if you're constantly stressed about money. So what skills or services are people actually willing to exchange money for? This one requires a bit of like realistic research, looking at jobs or businesses or freelance work that actually exists. So you have these four areas, these four big questions, right? What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. The goal isn't to find some mythical, perfect job that ticks all four boxes 100% of the time. I mean, wow, if you can, that's incredible. Call me and tell me how. But for most of us, the magic is in the middle, that sweet spot, that tiny little area where all four of those circles overlap. That's your direction. That's your compass pointing north. Okay, so that's the big idea. It's cool to think about. It's a neat diagram, but what do you actually do with it? It can feel a little abstract and overwhelming. I totally get it. So let's make it super, super simple, practical. Here's your homework, if you will, your mission for the next 15 minutes after this podcast ends. Take a piece of paper. Yeah, an actual physical piece of paper. I find it works better. Or, open a blank document if you have to, and just brain dump. No filter. Make 4 lists for those 4 questions. What I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, what I can get paid for. Do not edit yourself. Do not judge what comes out. If napping is on your what I love list, write it down. It counts. The goal here is just to get it all out of your head and onto the page where you can actually see it. And that's it for now. Just make the list. The goal isn't to have a life-changing epiphany in 10 minutes. I mean, this is 60-second Scholar. We appreciate efficiency, but some things need to breathe. The goal is just to start the conversation with yourself, to consciously turn off the autopilot, even for just a little while, and actually look at the controls. See where you are. It's about a tiny shift in perspective, shifting from what am I supposed to be doing to what could I do? That first question is all about external pressure, about meeting expectations. The second one, that's about possibility. It gives you permission to explore, to be curious, to try things and maybe fail, instead of just constantly looking for the one right answer that someone else decided for you. So yeah, that's the thought for today. The 4 questions. It's not a magic formula that spits out your dream job title. It's just a map, or a compass, I guess. It's a tool to help you check your coordinates and make sure you're heading in a direction that feels right. That feels like you. I really, really hope this was helpful. Or at least it gave you something interesting to chew on while you're doing the dishes or whatever. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. This has been Kafka for 60-Second Scholar. Now go grab that piece of paper. Seriously, pause this right now and go do it. Just start the list. You might be really, really surprised at what you find. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next time.